You've talked about a pose, something like this in your book. Can you please tell our viewers what that is?
You would find a good speaker keeping a particular hand movement. So it's this. Once you stand like this, it gives you a defined posture. It gives you a lot of power, your body movement, your hand movements are in control.
Giving the right vibes to the
Right
audience.
back. In fact, the book, A Part and a Part, is the base course, it's the foundation course. So with this, you will set the base of your communication skills.
This is another thing which I noticed in your book is you've actually compared animals and humans a lot in it.
The most difficult thing for me to change in them is the eye contact. When you learn with fun, it registers with you. So if you go like, I am the king, they're like, get out.
Get out.
If your frame of mind is not relaxed, trust me, it will bother you and it will disturb your performance and does your presentation.
There's one more thing which I really loved in your book is that at the end of each page, you've given meanings, even for mediocre words. That's great. When can we expect your next flight to land?
Very soon, we are working on the next book.
You've talked about regional languages in this book and you've specified Punjabi.
हमारा जो रीजनल लैंग्वेज है ना उसको तो हम खोते जा रहे हैं.
Hi viewers, today I have here with me one of the most energetic and charismatic personality I know of, Miss Payal Mohindra, an internationally certified master trainer, life coach, communication expert, motivational speaker, corporate trainer and NLP master practitioner, and above all, a devoted wife and a mother of two. There's a lot that can be said and learned from her. Her first book, A Part or a Part, is a transformational journey for any reader seeking confidence and for those trying to upscale their communication skills. The originality of the book keeps the newness alive, and there's something to learn on every page of it. You must have seen various other self-help books available in the market, but once you start reading A Part or a Part, it definitely is unput downable because nothing has been copied from anywhere. This book is a result of Payal's 2 decades of experience in the communication industry, the best book by far for communication skills. Welcome, Payal.
Thank you so much, Lavina. I really appreciate the
Thank
genuine
you.
introduction.
Thank you, and thank you so much for being with us
Thank
here
you.
today. I have a few questions. I've read your book thrice, and every time I've read it, there's something new I got to learn from it. But I do have a few questions
Sure.
I'd like to ask you. The first one, you've talked about a pose, something like this in your book. Can you please tell our viewers what that is?
Okay, so you've chosen the best topic.
Thank you.
So basically, if you would see a lot of, and you go on any video nowadays,
right.
it's all about videos.
Yeah.
So you would find a good speaker keeping a particular hand movement. So it's this. It could be this.
Okay.
I would call it a power pose. So power pose is something that would basically give you an instant power. Now, if you stand like this, you would find your hands moving, right? There would be a movement which is not under your control, something that is you're not supposed to do. Like you are doing this, or you're touching your hair, or if you're standing, you're fiddling. So once you stand like this, it gives you a defined posture. It gives you a lot of power, your body movement, your hand movements are in control.
Oh, that's nice. So giving the right vibes to the audience.
Right vibes. And for yourself, more than the audience, it is your persona. So, when you would find a lot of people moving their hands a lot, touching their hair. So this restricts that all.
Wow.
So once your hands are like this, there's a specific posture, a movement. And okay, now this is very important. So once you start talking, then don't go like this. So it has to be like this, come back, like this, come back. And it's not necessarily that you have to hold it like this. It could be like this also. It could be little like this. It could be little like this. But yes, both the hands should be closed. That's a power pose.
They define elegance as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. There's another thing which I noticed in your book is You've actually compared animals and humans a lot in it. You've talked about butterflies, about giraffe,
Correct.
mouse, lizards. Can you please put some light on that?
See, this is a journey of 20 years.
Okay.
So, all these, there are a lot of rules that those are self created rules you would have found in my book. I call them my self created rules. And these rules come out of my diverse experience of handling an audience from 50 to a 20,000, India,
Right.
internationally. So, during this journey, I realized that there were a lot of things that I was learning while handling my audience. And when I put it to practice in preaching, when I was
Right.
teaching, when I was coaching people, I realized that just to tell them that, okay, you must establish a good eye contact would not suffice. Everybody knows that you need to have an eye contact, but
Right.
how do you establish it? Because, and honestly, Lavina, I feel whenever a participant or a student, be it a youngster or an adult, because I deal both in pedagogy and andragogy, when they come to me, the most difficult thing for me to change in them is the eye contact.
Oh,
Because if they have problem with their eye contact, if they cannot maintain a specific eye contact, not like staring
right.
into someone's face, but a specific eye contact, it's very difficult to bring it because they had been doing it for years.
Oh,
So to break that habit is a daunting task.
right.
How do you do that? So I created all these rules, and trust me, they
Wow.
work wonders because when you learn with fun, it registers with you.
It
So
does.
when I say, okay, now don't be a giraffe, you will know, oh, I don't have to be a giraffe. So it'll register.
Right.
So next time when you're on stage, you will realize, oh, am I looking for lizards? I'm looking at the mouse on the floor, or am I being a giraffe? So, it's training. With regular training, with practice, you master these skills.
Wow, that's amazing. With practice, there's one more question, that just came to my mind. You've talked about mirror over here, that,
Yes.
we need to practice 100 times before we go on stage, but
Correct.
it should look as if it's coming out
Right,
naturally.
right.
So, what I could relate that with is makeup. Whenever we want makeup and we go to a professional for makeup, we always request them to give us a no makeup look. But for that no makeup look, also, they work at least 2 3 hours on our face
Correct,
before they tell
correct.
us, okay, ma'am, now you're ready. So,
Yes.
we tell them, oh, we just want that glow, but it should look like we've not been to a professional.
Brilliant. I think that's a great comparison. So, what they do is they set the base.
They said the base,
So, you have
right?
to set the base of your
Yeah, they do
presentation.
put makeup.
Yes. In fact, the book, Apart and Apart, is the base course, it's the foundation course. So, with
Oh,
this, you will set the base of your communication skills, and part two would come out soon. So, that would be about public speaking in detail. So, how do you handle a mic and how do you handle stage? So, this is the base, like you just mentioned. Yes. So, you talked about the mirror thing that I
right.
always say the best friend of communication is mirror. Go out,
Okay,
stand in front of the mirror, practice 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, as many
right,
times as you can. Because the more
right.
you would put into it, the more practice you would do, the better you would become, and thus would be a perfect performance.
Wow.
And the easiest way to let go of a good presentation is not to practice. बहुत आसान है. Practice ना
Oh,
करके जाओ, खत्म. Practice
oh.
करके जाओगे, you
So,
will see the power of your presentation.
yeah?
Yeah.
Arey, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, there's, when I go on stage, what is it that, I should be more prepared with? I mean, what is it that the audience is looking at more at? Is it my clothes, my hair, my script, my vibes?
Attitude.
Okay, my attitude. All right. Oh, that's
Yes. That's your
nice.
first point of contact.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that's the
Okay,
most
tell me
important.
one thing. It's also written in the book. Tell me one thing. Lavina, do you remember anyone from your school, college, or around you who's a good orator, but you don't like to listen to them? You're like, kaun sunega?
Right.
Can you think of someone?
Those teachers who had a lot of knowledge and but we never wanted to listen to them.
Yes, or probably who has good knowledge and speaks very well, but still you don't want to listen because the attitude is really high.
Ah, right.
Audience can feel your attitude, they can see your attitude, they can sense your attitude. So if you go like, I am the king, they're like, get out.
Get out.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So there's one more thing, which, there was one more topic which I really loved was on time, in time. Right. But, as a Punjabi, मेरे को तो लगता है ठीक है यार, स्क्रिप्ट मेरे को आती है, ऑन टाइम में चल रहा हूँ, तो दिक्कत कहाँ आ रही है?
देखिए पंजाबी है तो मतलब आप पंजाब में रहते हैं ना, या नॉर्थ में
Yes,
रहते हैं, दिल्ली में
yes,
रहते हैं,
yes,
और
yes.
ट्रैफिक मुंबई कहीं पे भी रहते हैं, बैंगलोर में रहते हैं, ट्रैफिक ऐसी चीज़ है जो टोटली अनअवॉइडेबल है। मतलब
Okay.
आप
Yes,
कुछ भी
yes.
करें, राइट, आपको लगेगा कि मैं 5 मिनट में पहुंचूंगा, तो आप 15 मिनट में पहुंच सकते हैं, आप 4 मिनट में भी पहुंच सकते हैं। बट आई थिंक इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. See, because in fact, if you'll see, there is an image that I have used. So what happens is, if you start late, everything goes behind schedule, and before a presentation, it's very important for you to be relaxed. And if your frame of mind is not relaxed, trust me, it will bother you and it will disturb your performance and thus your presentation.
Right. And then I'll start coming up with excuses.
Absolutely. Oh, excuse. So for, then if we falter, then we don't want to blame ourselves.
Then we
We
don't
have
wanna blame ourselves.
everyone around us, anything around us to be blamed. Wherein if you actually follow this whole principle of in time and on time, you will see that you would be able to deliver much better. Be it, the presentation could be just 1 on 1, 1 on 10, and 1 on 100. But if you are punctual, if you value time, time will value you.
Right. And with excuses, we are actually disarming ourselves only. किसी और को तो कोई फर्क नहीं
See,
पड़ेगा.
after a while, the excuses will not work because people will know
yes,
that.
they'll know.
Basically, there is another point in the book that I've mentioned specifically. I said these are your tendencies. So when you show your tendencies, how many times would you be able to hide your tendencies?
Right.
People will eventually understand that ये तो है
ये तो
ऐसा.
ऐसे ही है. Right. And then there are many more whom they can call. They'll not call you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Before I go on stage, if my energy is drained, what do I do?
See, before if you go on stage and your energy is drained, you are finished.
You finish. Okay, this is anything I can do, to just
It is
boost up
all
myself.
about energy. It is
Okay.
all about energy. So
All
when you
right.
go up, when you know that you have to see, if things are just thrown at you, it comes out of nowhere that, oh, you're in the spotlight, you have to be there.
Right.
Then, of course, you have to prepare your mind instantly. But if you have time and you don't prepare, you are a fool.
Right. I should have known where to spend my energy.
Yes. And see, energy is very, very expensive. It's elite. And we throw it at the drop of a hat. Save your energy, conserve your energy. So like you said, when I go up on stage and there is no energy left in me, that if you have conserved your energy, if you were not screaming that day, or if you were not rushing, if you were in time, then where will the energy go? It will be within
It
you.
will be
And
within me.
of course, before going up on stage, I have given a lot of tips that you must consider in mind. But if you lose your energy, you lose everything.
Right. See, if I'm on time and I start stressing about the traffic,
Absolutely.
I would definitely lose my energy by the time I reach.
Spent. You are spent. The presentation
Right.
is spent.
There's one more thing which I really loved in your book is that at the end of each page, you've given meanings, even for mediocre words.
Yes.
That's great. Because, I remember as a child, my mom, my teachers, they would tell me to keep an Oxford with me whenever I would read a book.
Correct.
And to take a halt whenever I didn't know the meaning, open that dictionary, find the meaning, and then go back to reading.
Correct.
So, I would find that very strenuous. I don't know why, but I would find it very tiring to, open that Oxford, find the meaning of that word. And these days, we don't want to waste that kind of time.
In fact, Lavina, if you look at it nowadays, it's simpler because you do not have to keep a book.
You can
just have
Google.
to Google. But being an avid reader, I understand that if you have a Kindle in hand, it's still okay. You click at the word and the
Right.
meaning would appear. But if you do
Right.
not, if you're reading from a book, a hard copy, a hard paper book, so what happens is it kills the momentum. For instance, I pick up this book and I come on this page and it's written misconstrued. I know the
Right.
meaning, interpret wrongly. I move on to the next page.
Right.
But if I do not have this, and I pick up my phone and I say, okay, so what's the meaning of this? Okay, it's this. And then I move on to Insta, or the phone
Oh,
is in my
yes.
hand, you can go in any direction.
yes.
And from here, the book will go here.
The book will go here. Yes.
So
yes.
being an avid reader, I realized that mobile is a distraction, and
It is.
it is very important to have everything within the book so that once you're onto the book, you're glued.
Definitely correct. Amazing. Right. All right. There were a lot of things. Actually, there are a lot of things that I can still ask. You've talked about regional languages in this book, and you've specified Punjabi. So, I mean, I was actually amazed that, you're so fluent in Punjabi and that you've learned Punjabi. That's great. You're from Haryana, you're not from Punjab, and still you're so good with Punjabi because I cannot speak even a single sentence in Punjabi. And I was actually amazed to read that you've mentioned this in the book as well, that we really need to
Yes, it's very
value our
important.
regional
Very
languages.
important. See, now, like you said, you're born, brought up in
Yes.
Punjab.
In Punjab.
And you
yes.
still cannot.
I
थोड़ा
cannot
जा
speak
पंजाबी बोल के
Punjabi.
दिखाओ. थोड़ा जा. माड़ा जा.
Mada Jaya.
हाँ.
I think I cannot speak anything other than
Kuch-
Mada Jaya.
See,
Because
this
I can
is-
just say Sasriya Kal, that's it.
Okay, now it's not even Sat Shri Akal, it's Sat Shri Akal.
See, I told you I cannot speak Punjabi.
Yeah. So this is what is the biggest problem. हमारा जो regional language है ना उसको तो हम खोते जा रहे हैं. Now you talk about public schools. They focus so much on English, which is good.
Which is good.
Because Punjab
yeah.
has MTI, which is mother tongue influence. Even like South also, you have a lot of mother tongue influence wherein certain words or articulation of certain sounds is like L-O or whatever, in
yes,
Punjab also
yes, yes,
told you,
yes, told
right?
you. Exactly.
It's important for children to learn English because it's a universal language. You cannot discredit English, period, okay? But apart from that, where is the regional language going? So when I got married and shifted my base and I started with my news channel, तो मुझे तो पंजाबी लिखनी पढ़नी नहीं आती थी, बोलनी थोड़ी बहुत आती थी because I was in Chandigarh. I've done my graduation and post-graduation from Punjab and I'm a Punjabi otherwise, although brought up in Ambala.
All right.
Born in Patiala. But I did not know Punjabi. So what I did, I learned. I hired a tutor.
Right.
And for 3 months, I trained myself in Punjabi linguistics. कि पंजाबी किਵੇਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਬੋਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ.
Right.
And I learned and I'm so proud of being a Punjabi and I love Punjabi language. But then, I see our children. I try my level best. हमारी जो घर में बड़े थे माता जी, मैंने उनको इंस्ट्रक्ट किया होता है कि बच्चिਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ.
Exactly.
But the inclination towards other language like Hindi or for that matter English, and they're learning other languages as well, is more than sticking to your basic language, which could be Punjabi or Marathi or South Indian or any other language. It's very important. Like what I wrote in the book, the caption is, and I say it like Shah Rukh Khan, reclaim your regional language. It is very important.
Right. Actually, learn other languages, but please don't forget your regional language.
Now, many times children would ask me, Ma'am, what's the use? ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਕਰ ਵੀ ਲਈਏ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ. So I said, okay, for instance, you're in Canada and you're given this task to cater to a community, which is Punjabi community, and they don't understand any other language. So you would be at an advantage.
Exactly.
Instant advantage. But if you do not, imagine you would lose out on an opportunity which would be very silly. Because this happened with me when I shifted my base and I went into communication world, like media. They would call me, this Chandigarh di kudi, she would know Punjabi, but maine to Punjabi nahi aandi si.
Exactly.
And I lost some big major
work
and lot of things because of that. And that is why it is good learning. Like this book is also, I also call it, this is again an epitome of my insult modules. A lot of things that I learned after I was insulted. And I took it in my stride. I learned from it. And thus, I want others to be benefited by it as well.
Wow. That's amazing. And you owning it? That's even great. Wow, that's great. Yeah. When can we expect your next flight to land?
Very soon. We are working on the next book.
All right.
And hopefully another 6 months, you'll have part 2 of the book.
Wow.
Which is the final book. It's a 2 series, like this part 1 and then there's part 2. So hopefully soon, another 6 months.
Wow, great. Waiting for it.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Lavira.
And before we let you go, can you please sign this book for
me?
Sure,
why not? Of course. Thank you.
You've spelled my name correctly.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, no one's ever spelled my name correctly before. Thank you so much for that.
That's fair. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thanks.